Hello, myself, Professor Sunil Deokar, Head Department of English of Rao Bahadur Narendra Boroke College, Srirampur. Today, I am going to discuss phrases. During last lecture, I have discussed about word class, and I have told you that word class is divided into two, open word class and closed word class. And in open word class, noun, verb, adjective and adverb, they come in open word class. What is a noun? Naming anything. It might be place, person or thing. It is called as a noun. Likewise, verb, it correlates to the action of the noun. Adjective, it describes or qualifies the noun, and adverb, it describes or qualifies an adjective or adverb or verb, we may say. And in the closed word classes, we have dealt with pronoun, determiner, enumerator, conjunction, preposition, operator verb, and interjection. So 7 plus 4, 11 sections, that means the word classes we have dealt with. So further, now we are quite familiar with those word classes. And what is important, how these words, when these words they come together, how it becomes a phrase. And a group of phrases, when they come together, it becomes a clause. And so today I am going to discuss the phrases. So, as we know, what is the structure of a phrase? The structure of a phrase is main phrase and subordinate phrase. So, main phrase, you can say by bracketing system, you can say this is a main phrase. So, this is the main phrase. And in between, we may say this is the subordinate phrase. Phrase in phrase. So, just for example, pen on the table. Pen on the table. So, the entire phrase pen on the table, what is it? It is a main phrase. Which phrase it is? Likewise, it is a noun phrase. And in between this main phrase, there is a subordinate phrase. Which is that subordinate phrase? On the table, that is, where is the pen? The location of the pen, you can say it has been indicated by that subordinate phrase, that is, I would say that is prepositional phrase. So phrase in phrase. So generally that is the structure of a phrase, we may say main phrase and subordinate phrase. So likewise, so first of all we should know what is the structure of a phrase, you can say in that manner. So likewise we may say what are the different classes of phrase? We can, that means we can divide the phrase into 6 different classes. Which are those 6 different classes of a phrase? First of all, as I have told you, the first phrase, that is noun phrase. Secondly, verb phrase. Thirdly, adjective phrase. AJP, adjective phrase. Fourth is adverb phrase, AVP, adverb phrase. Fifth is prepositional phrase, and sixth is genitive phrase. So overall we may, so that means the structure of a phrase, as I have told you, you can say it is a modifier head modifier. We may also call, that means the phrase, structure of a phrase, it might differ at different level. So the structure of a phrase of noun phrase, it is modifier head modifier. The structure of a verb phrase is auxiliary, main verb, we may say in that manner. So, likewise, when we deal with this, you can say the noun phrase, verb phrase, we know, that means verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, prepositional phrase and genitive phrase. If you deal with one by one examples, it will, I am going to discuss those one by one. So, I will not just give you here any examples, but I would say, I would just give one simple example. Just for example, John was wearing pink socks, last night. So just see how many phrases are there here. So first of all, as we know, this is a complete one clause, main clause. What it is? It is a main clause. An internal analysis when we make, so we know, you can say, if you go one by one, if you analyze the word class, first of all, if you analyze the word class, what it is. So John is what? Noun. Was is the be form verb. You can say here it is be form verb. This is main verb. Wearing is main verb. Pink is adjective. Socks is again noun. Last it is enumerator. And night here in a sense it's again noun. So just see. And in between this we may say how many phrases are there? John is one first phrase. Second, was wearing is the second phrase. Pink socks is the third phrase. And last night it is the fourth phrase. So there are totally 4 phrases in this one single clause, you can say. And if you see what are those different 4 phrases, first is noun phrase. This is verb phrase. This is, you can say, again noun phrase. And this is last night, in a sense, even though it is noun phrase, but it functions as complement. So subject, object, verb, S.P.O.A. last night, you can say S.P.O.A. the functional label, that is the clause label. And the functional, that means internally we may also say, what is this? John is the head word of an noun phrase. Was is the auxiliary verb. What is it? It is auxiliary verb. And this is ing verb. We can say be form, or you can say this is the main verb. So here pink, it is again modifier. And this is head. Here last is again, it is modifier and head, you can say. So we can do it, this analysis, either by tree diagram or bracketing. So here in a sense, in this clause there are 4 phrases. So in this clause there are 4 phrases. So just you can say an awareness to know what is that, means a phrase. Individually a word, it has a word class. Noun, you can say this operator verb, main verb, adjective, noun, enumerator, so cardinal ordinal and general ordinal. In general ordinal, last it comes. So it is an enumerator. First, last, next. What are these further? These are, you can say, these are the enumerators, you can say. So in the word class, and night, it is again noun, you can say. So likewise, we should know the word class, and these word classes, they become, that means these words, when they come together, they become a phrase, and the group of phrases, they come in a main clause or subordinate clause. So this you can say, but just an example I have given you, but finally we will have to go one by one. So this is just one example, one sentence I have given you here, but now I am going to deal one by one. I will start with first, that is the noun phrase. So if you deal with noun phrase, so what is the function of a noun phrase? First of all, so what is the function of a noun phrase? In a clause, noun phrase can function either as subject, object or complement. So when we say what is the function, that means in a clause I have told you, clause is a main clause, and in that main clause, what does noun phrase? It functions as. So for example, he is a doctor. So if I write this sentence, he is a doctor. So just see, he is a doctor. So likewise, here this is a clause, and in this clause there are three phrases, and this first you can say he is subject. That means what phrase it is? It is noun phrase. Is this predicator? I don't want to deal with predicator now. And a doctor, here it is complement, but the phrase is what? The phrase is a noun phrase. So the quality, it is been told. Who is he or she, or that means, or Ram or Sham, whosoever. That means here I have used pronoun. He is a doctor. He is a doctor. He, it is a pronoun. But what does this, but which phrase it is? It is a noun phrase. It is a noun phrase and it functions as, what does it functions as? This is a main clause. In this main clause, as I mentioned here, in a clause, noun phrase can function as subject, object or complement. So likewise, he is a doctor. So likewise here, he is subject. And what, this is a noun phrase. So in a clause, noun phrase, when it is a subject, that means it is a noun phrase and it can function as subject. It can also function as complement. A doctor. So he is a doctor, it is a complement. And I will give you one example of what? Of object. So he ate an apple. He ate an apple. So which, this phrase, it is what? Functional label is object. The functional label of this phrase is object. But which phrase it is? It is a noun phrase. So he ate an apple. An apple is what? It is an object. So here you can say, as I have told you, noun phrase either it can function as subject, object or complement. So here in a similar manner, noun phrase in a clause, it might function as subject, it might function as object, or it might function as a complement. So all these, they are the noun phrases. First, second, third, whichever I have mentioned. Noun phrase in a clause, it might function as subject, it might function as object, or it might function as complement. So that is the thing which, what is the functional label of these phrases. So noun phrase in a clause, it can function either as subject, object or complement. That was the first point I wanted to deal here with. So that I have mentioned you in a detailed manner. Now I will turn to the second point, that is, what is the structure of a noun phrase. So the structure of a noun phrase, basically when we deal with the structure of a noun phrase, the structure of the noun phrase is, I would say, modifier, head, modifier. So this is the noun phrase. So when we are dealing with structure of a noun phrase, what is it? Modifier, head, modifier. What is this modifier? This, it is pre-modifier. This M, it stands for pre-modifier. These curly brackets, what do they indicate? They are optional. What are they? They are optional. That means here in a sense, the modifier, it may be there or it may not be there. You can say. Head, H, it stands for head. And M, again, it stands for post modifier. So just see what is the structure. So likewise, as we have gone through the function already, subject, object or complement. So here in a second point which I was dealing with the structure, and what is the structure of a noun phrase? The structure of the noun phrase is modifier, head, modifier. What does first M it indicates? The first M it indicates as pre-modifier. The words in a noun phrase which come before the head words, they are called as pre-modifiers. So they are called as pre-modifiers. They may be there, they may not be there. An individual word, it might also stand in a phrase. So just for example, the beautiful girl gave an apple to me. So instead of saying the girl gave me an apple, I have said the beautiful girl gave an apple to me. The beautiful, again what I have added there? That the beautiful is the pre-modifier. What is the head word? Girl is the head word. The is the determiner. So likewise, that means here it might be option. So you can say Sita gave me an apple. So likewise, instead of adding any thing, beautiful Sita gave me an apple. So likewise, instead of that, I have directly said Sita gave me an apple. So the pre-modifiers, they might be there or they might not be there, but we should be able to identify. So here pre-modifier. So what I am commenting on? This is the structure. Structure of what? Structure of noun phrase. So this is the structure of noun phrase. Modifier, head, modifier. Head, what might be the head of noun phrase? That I have written here. You can say what might be the head? It might be noun, pronoun, adjective. So that we are going to deal with. So, and head, head and post modifier. What is post modifier? The words which come after the head word, they are called as post. Pre means before head word and post means after head word. So that is the structure of a noun phrase. I would say among all the phrases, if you come to know noun phrase, other phrases, they are easy to understand. They don't have that much complications. But noun phrase as itself, it functions as subject, object or complement. Yes, the functional labels are also different. And at the same time, the structure, in a sense, the structure of noun phrase, in a sense, it is modifier, head and post modifier. Pre-modifier, head and post modifier. So that is the structure of a noun phrase. Now I will deal with what might be the head of a noun phrase. What might be the head of a noun phrase? So the head words here, in a sense, they differ accordingly. What might be the head of a noun phrase? As I have told, noun, pronoun or adjective. So I will give you the examples. So likewise in a phrase. So here in a phrase we can use two ways, either bracketing or tree diagram. You can say, if I say the man, what is it? That means here the is determiner and man is what you can say, it is the head word. What is it? It is noun. So man is noun. What is the head? Pre-modifier, it is determiner. I am dealing with what? I am only dealing with the head word. Man, pure Ram. What is it? It is a single word. So it is what? Head. It is noun. Secondly, I say that the head of a noun phrase, it is what? It is pronoun. He, she, it, whatever it might be. What is it? All of them, they are noun and they might function as head. All these are noun phrases. I am dealing with all these are the noun phrases. And what might be the head? So I am dealing with what? What might be the head of a noun phrase? The head of a noun phrase, it might be what? Noun. So the head of the noun phrase, it might be a pronoun. What are these? These are all pronoun. He, she, it. What are they? They are pronoun. What is pronoun? Pronoun is an alternative word used for noun. So we have already dealt with the word class. They are dummy nouns. What is pronoun? Pronoun, dummy noun, or an alternative word which is being used for noun. That is called as what? That is called as pronoun. So it might also function as what? It might also function as head of an noun phrase. And next I have told you, that means these are the two common, noun and pronoun. Generally they are there, but occasionally, sometimes adjective, it might also function as head of a noun phrase. So the absurd, you can say it's an quality, or we may say it is an adjective. It is an adjective. The adjective, it can also function as what? It can also function as head of what? Noun phrase. So as I have here, that means the absurd, as I have written there, the absurd. Absurd is what? It is an adjective And so as I have written, absurd, it can also function as head of an noun phrase. So likewise, even enumerator, sometimes you may say, rarely or sometimes, all 15. 15 here it is what? It is enumerator. It might also function as head of an noun phrase. So as I have discussed, what are the four? You can say these are the four things I have told you. They might function as head of an noun phrase. What? Noun, pronoun, adjective, and at the same time you can say adjective and enumerator. So these are the four. They might function as head of an noun phrase, I would say. So that now next I will turn to what might be the pre-modifiers which come before the head word. So those examples as I will deal one by one. So what are those different pre-modifiers which come before the head word? The head word, as I have already told you, it might be pronoun, it might be noun, it might be enumerator, or it might be adjective also. So likewise, what might be so all these examples I will give you. D, small d, it stands for determiner. E stands for enumerator. AJ, it stands for adjectives. N stands for noun. GP stands for genitive phrase. And AV stands for adverb. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they might function as pre-modifier in a noun phrase. So one by one I will deal with. So just I will take 1, 2 examples. Determiner and enumerator. The building. Building is head word, but here you can say the is what? Determiner. What is it? So we are dealing with pre-modifiers. What are the pre-modifiers of noun phrase? The building. The is what? So here you can say the is what? The is, you can say the is determiner. Word class, what is it? It is determiner. Head word is building, but here we are dealing with what? Pre-modifiers. So before building, what is B is noun, and before that, what? Here in a sense, the is, it functions as a determiner. Then next you can say enumerator. 15 boys. What is it? 15 is enumerator. Boys is what? Noun. So this is what? Modifier. Then next you can say adjective. Intelligent boy. Intelligent boy. Intelligent is what? Quality. What is it? It is adjective. What it functions as? Modifier. So it functions as modifier. Intelligent boy. So what does it functions as? Modifier. Clever boy, intelligent boy, beautiful girl. So we can give n number of examples. You can say red hen. So red in a sense color, it also indicates red hen. Hen is what? Noun. Red is what? Adjective. What does it functions as? Modifier. So that is the example of what? Adjective. So you can say, as I have given you, determiner, enumerator, adjective example. Latter we may say noun. London pubs. So London pubs. London is what? It is pre-modifier. Pubs is the head word. So this is modifier again. What is it? It is noun. Next we may say genitive phrase. Ram's pen. Ram's pen. Rams is what? It is genitive phrase. And what does it functions as? Pre-modifier. So it functions as pre-modifier, genitive phrase. And lastly, in that we may say adverb. Quite a noise. So likewise, quite a noise, what is it? Quite is what? Quite is again an adverb. So here in a sense, quite is adverb. So here this example, it also functions as modifier. So just different examples, as I have told you, what might be the pre-modifiers. So the pre-modifiers, they might be determiner the, secondly, it might be enumerator. 15, you can say it is the pre-modifier. Head word is boys, in a sense, intelligent boy or clever boy. So it is again a modifier, pre-modifier. Later, quite a noise. Quite is what? It is an adverb, pre-modifier. Ram's pen, Ram's belonging, Ram's. It shows the belonging. What is it? It is again pre-modifier. It is again pre-modifier, and it is genitive phrase. So all these are the noun phrases. These are the noun phrases, and that function, it has been clearly indicated. And finally, I will deal with these post modifiers. What are the post modifiers of a noun phrase? So those examples I have given you of pre-modifiers of noun phrases. All these are the head words, and before that head word, what words you can say? What are those different words which can come before the head word? So those examples I have given you. And last in the structure that I am going to deal with, it is the post modifier. What might be the post modifier of a noun phrase? So that means we know generally in noun phrase, the post modifier of a noun phrase, it is generally a prepositional phrase. So post modifier, first prepositional phrase. So the pen on the table. The pen on the table. So what is this? This is a noun phrase. Yes, the head word is pen. It is noun. But here, after that head word, what comes on the table? What is been told? It is the position of the noun. And it is the post modifier. Again, as I have told, it is the post modifier. It is not pre-modifier, post. It comes after the head word pen. And that's why this is post modifier. And what it is? It is the prepositional phrase. So we know what is, that means the structure of prepositional phrase is equal to, prepositional phrase is equal to P plus NP. So that we are going to deal afterwards. But here, what comes after the head word that we were dealing with, it is prepositional phrase. First of all, as I have told you, the first example, the pen on the table. So we can give n number of examples. But just to give you an idea here, I have given you one example. So the boy on the street, the camera on the wall. So we can give these examples. Ram in the classroom. So likewise, those examples we can go on adding, you can say. So likewise, and lastly, relative clause. Relative clause, it comes in what? It comes in the noun phrase also. So I have given here one example. A quality which I admire. A quality which I admire. So what is it? This entire, it is a noun phrase. An entire, it is a noun phrase. But at the same time, what it is a post modifier. So it is a post modifier. So just overall, we should come to know in a short manner, I have explained you what is the structure of a noun phrase. So the structure, as I will just overall conclude, as in the function I have told you, noun phrase in a clause, it might function as subject, object or complement. What is the structure of a noun phrase? The structure of a noun phrase is modifier, head, modifier. What that means? When we say modifier, head, modifier, what is the head of a noun phrase? It is noun, pronoun, and rarely it is adjective or enumerator. What are the pre-modifiers of a noun phrase? They are determiner, enumerator, adjectives, nouns, genitive phrase, and rarely adverb, you may say. And what are the post modifiers of a noun phrase? They are prepositional phrase and relative clause. So that is the thing which overall I wanted to deal with today. Thank you.